The Rogue class. A class added by the Calamity Mod which completely changes how you can play if you choose to. It's kind of like if Melee and Ranger were combined into one class. I will be taking on the challenge of playing the Rogue class, and I will also be playing it on Revengeance mode, a mode added by Calamity to make the game a lot harder, and in my opinion, a lot more fun. Now, let's not keep you waiting, and let's get right into the gameplay. The first thing I do as I launch into the world is I instantly begin chopping some trees, as my plan is to first build some housing as soon as I can, so that way I can just get as many NPCs as possible. Once I see it's turning night though, I instantly begin heading to the right side of the world, so I can hopefully find a cave to get geared up, as I do not want to be unprepared for nightfall. After a bit of traveling and not realizing I didn't have Revengeance mode turned on, I stumbled upon the ice biome, which could be home to a lot of good loot, like ice boots or just anything can be good from this biome honestly. And I'll be here a lot as this is where I'll obtain the materials to craft my first armor set. I finally find a cave after going through the whole ice biome and begin exploring it, but I end up dying shortly after. Once I respawn, I decide I want to finish up the houses because when it turns daytime, I can get some NPCs to move in. After the houses are finished, I decide to head to the left side of the world where I find the cave, and now I was regretting that I didn't go here first, instead of going to the right side. The main thing I'm looking for in these caves is either gold or platinum, because I'll need it to craft my first rogue weapon, the gilded dagger made from gold and the gleaming dagger made from platinum. After heading deeper into the cave, I find the railroad, which leads me to the underground desert on the left side, after which in like 2 seconds flat, I just die. After getting all the gold that I needed, I was finally able to craft the gilded dagger, which I got a very good reforge on, being the unpleasant reforge giving me plus 7% more damage. Since I can finally do some real damage, I decided to grab my first set of armor, the Snow Ruffian armor, which, by the way, took over 45 minutes to get. So, yeah, that really sucked. After going through the pain which was crafting this Snow Ruffian armor, I had decided that was all for now, and I logged off for today. Once I had logged back on, I decided that I wanted to get more health so I could be prepared to fight my first boss, being the Desert Scourge, as I know I could beat him, but I just need more health in order to do that. So, I got to finding more life crystals. Once I had gotten a lot more health, I decided to start building the arena to fight the Desert Scourge. Once I had finished the arena, I decided to try fighting the Desert Scourge for the first time, which didn't go very well. Yeah. After trying to fight the Desert Scourge a few more times and dying every time, I went to explore the left side of the world and found both the corruption and the jungle. After I was done exploring the world, I decided to head up above my base and try finding the planetoids so I can hopefully get life crystals and just some more loot. Once I had gotten full health from the mini planetoids in the sky, I decided I was going to try taking on the Desert Scourge once again. After I had defeated the Desert Scourge, I used the materials I got from the loot bag to craft myself a new set of armor and a new weapon, the Fishman Boomerang. I then re-fought the Desert Scourge to get the Scourge of the Desert, as it is a really good early game rogue weapon and I would be using it a lot. After I had defeated the Desert Scourge once again, a blood moon rolled around, which on the very last monster, dropped a shark tooth necklace, which would be very, very helpful. And as the blood moon ended, it showed a goblin army was approaching, which would be very good as I really wanted the goblin tinker so I could upgrade my accessories. So, one quick goblin army and a few lava buckets later, I had crafted a goblin tinker potion, which, added in my IMK sushi mod, can help summon the goblin tinker so I didn't need to go searching for him. After upgrading my gear, I had decided that it was time I fight the Eye of Cthulhu. So, this is how it went. After killing the eye, I head to the jungle as I want to get an Ankle of the Wind in order to craft lightning boots. Seeing as there is no way into the underground jungle, I go to the giant tree connected to a huge bee nest, where I summon not one, but 2 queen bees, which only goes as well as you could expect. After going back into the jungle and being careful this time not to summon any queen bees, I successfully make my way to the underground jungle and begin my search for an Ankle of the Wind. After a little bit of exploring, I stumble across a minecart which brings me to this giant room with a bunch of weird green bulbs. Before I died, I realized that I could actually use jungle spores to craft an Ankle of the Wind, meaning that I wouldn't need to explore the underground jungle for now. After crafting my new pair of lightning boots, I saw that a traveling merchant had arrived, containing an item to instantly send any of my money to my piggy bank, which will save me lots of money down the road. But I didn't have enough money to buy it, as it costed 15 gold and I had just went broke from reforging my accessories at the Goblin Tinkerer. So I decided to sell a bunch of stuff that I didn't need for my magic storage unit so I could hopefully get enough money to buy it. And after a lot of selling, I was finally able to buy the money collector. After obtaining the money collector last time, I decided to go to the sulfurous sea, as this is where I'll get the materials to craft my next set of armor. Second I stepped into the sulfurous sea, the asteroid event had began, which was perfect as I needed sulfurous scales obtained from the event to craft this set of armor. After I collected enough sulfurous scales, I headed home to craft the sulfurous armor, a very good armor set which would probably carry me to hard mode. With the sulfurous armor crafted, I went to the corruption and built an arena where I'll fight the hive mind and the eater of worlds. After the arena was finished, I went to the ocean to get black ink so I can make a scroll crafter, an item added in by the Louis AFK Reborn mod to craft infinite potions, which makes it so I don't need to grind as much, which will definitely be very helpful. After spending way too much time getting the black ink, I finally crafted the scroll crafter. With the infinite potions crafted, I had finally decided it was time to take on the Eater of Worlds, and this is how it went. After killing the Eater of Worlds, I made a Nightmare Pickaxe and made a Elevator to go down to Hell and mine Hellstone. After getting enough Hellstone, I went back to the surface and I crafted myself Terraspark Boots. After crafting Terraspark Boots, I decided it was time for me to fight the Hive Mind. So, here's how the fight went. With the hive mind defeated, I unlocked Aerial Ore, which after mining and farming feathers, and somehow getting a giant harpy feather, made Skyline Wings and a new rogue weapon. Which then, I headed to the dungeon, and after constructing a quick arena using the platform builder, fought Skeletron, and this is how it went. After killing Skeletron, I headed into the dungeon as I wanted to get a Shadow Key and a Cobalt Shield, which, in like 40 seconds, I got both of them. After getting what I was looking for, I left the dungeon and made myself an enchanted axe, a really good rogue weapon with homing projectiles that I'll probably be using against the Wall of Flesh. After killing Skeletron and the corruption bosses last time, I decided that today I want to do some building, as well as killing bosses I had previously left unattended to, so that way when I go into hard mode, I leave no loose ends. In the start map, I headed to the sunken sea and killed the giant Calamity Mod. Then using unlimited dynamite, I collect stone to make materials to build with. After getting enough stone, I make stone slabs and gray bricks and begin building. After finishing the first tower and adding NPCs to it, I decided it was time to work on the main base a little. After doing some work on the main castle part, I decided to start building the second tower. As I was building, a slime rain happened and the king slime spawned, which after killing him out to be quickly, crossed him off my checklist. After the second tower was done, I decided it was time to finish up the main castle part. As I was finishing up the castle, I had the idea for a planetoid with a living wood tree being like the center of the castle or what the castle was protecting, so I started building it. With my main base finished finally, it was time for me to fight Crabulon, Queen Bee, and the Perforators. So I went to the mushroom biome connected to my elevator, built an arena, and got ready to fight Crabulon. Here's how the fight went. After a rather quick fight, I headed to the jungle so that way I can fight the Queen Bee. Once I got to the hive, I made an arena and then I made a Queen Bee summon. With the Queen Bee summon crafted, I headed back to the hive and summoned Queen Bee. This is how the fight went. After killing the Queen Bee... Are you kidding? Again? After killing Queen Bee, I went to the snow biome, made an arena to fight Tearclops, and after a really quick fight, took him down, leaving only one boss left, the Perforators. Now, I'm in a corruption world, and the Perforators are a Crimson mode boss, which means I would have to make a Crimson biome in my world in order to fight them, which is exactly what I did. After spending a good chunk of time making it, I finally fought the Perforators, and this is how it went. After a quick fight, the Perforators were defeated. After defeating the Perforators last time and building this beautiful base that I'm in, I decided that I wanted to make the bundle of balloons so I can get some more movement for when I fight Slime God and the Wall of Flesh. It'll also be quite helpful in early hard mode as I don't plan on getting any wings until after I defeat the mechanical bosses. After crafting a bundle of balloons, I decided it was time for me to make an arena to fight the Slime God. And here's a little time lapse of me building the arena. After completing the arena, I decided it was time I fight Slime God, so I instantly got into the fight. Here is how it went. After killing Slime God, I made myself gel darts and went to the underworld so I could start making an arena to fight the Wall of Flesh. But as I was building, I accidentally summoned the Wall of Flesh and this happened. Yeah. So, I'm in hard mode now, and I don't want to end the video this early. So I decided that I was going to do stuff that was all technically in pre-hard mode. So after collecting and selling the Murasama, I started crafting materials during the Ankh Charm, as Calamity makes this so some of the hard mode materials can be crafted pre-hard mode. I then made the prison builder added by the Louis AFK Reborn mod to make more NPC houses, which fit perfectly into the basement of my castle. I then went underground to find the wizard, which I know isn't pre-hard mode, but I want him so when I get to hard mode, I could obtain a raw discord easily by putting him in the hollow biome. As I was looking for him, I encountered and fought a hollow mimic, which gave me a hook, which is pretty nice as I had a pretty bad hook before. Right after fighting the hollow mimic, I found the wizard. So, I went back to the surface. I then went to the dungeon so I can get bones to craft more items for the Ankh Charm. After getting enough bones and then making the materials for the Ankh Charm, I then headed to the underworld so I can fight the Wall of Flesh again, because I wanted to get a rogue emblem since I'm playing the rogue class. On my first attempt against fighting the Wall of Flesh again, I died, but with a slightly bigger arena, I killed him. Yeah, I did get the emblem from the treasure bag. As I was heading to my arena to kill the Eye of Cthulhu for money, I saw that the Astral Infection was right next to my base, which is good in the short term for rogue, but really bad in the long term since the enemies in the Astral Infection are strong, and I don't want to deal with them early hard mode. So, after killing a few Eye of Cthulhu's, I bought Wall of Flesh bags till eventually, I got it. After getting the rogue emblem, I decided I was going to kill Titans for the Titan armor, since it'd be a great way to start off hard mode. After crafting Titan armor, I decided that I was finally ready for hard mode. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this movie video, then I would recommend subscribing for my channel, because I'll be posting semi-occasional uploads of me playing through hard mode, and then I'll make that into a movie, and then after hard mode, and I'll make that into a movie. So, yeah. Please like and subscribe, and bye-bye.